Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. B with your distance learning art class for this week, which is our first week of May. May is one of my favorite months of the whole year because in May, in New England, where we live, it really becomes springtime outside. I know springtime started in March, but it has been pretty chilly and cold, even though it's spring. But May is usually when we start to see leaves on our trees and more flowers, and it really starts to feel like spring has sprung. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite insects to look for in the spring, and that is butterflies. You probably guessed that from my picture. I put a link to a read aloud by Eric Carle of his book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. I hope you have a chance to watch it. It's very special because Mr. Eric Carle is reading it himself. He is still alive and he lives in Massachusetts. He's still working. He still makes beautiful book illustrations, and he runs a museum called the Eric Carle Museum of Picture Book Art. I've been a couple times, and it's in Amherst, Mass. And once everything opens up, it's a really, really fun day trip to make with your family. They have an art studio where you can try to make art just like Eric Carle. They have beautiful art on the walls that you can look at, and they have a car that's dressed up like the Very Hungry Caterpillar. It's really funny. Anyway, the caterpillar, just like in our story, comes out of an egg, and he eats and eats and eats, and then he goes inside a chrysalis and comes out as a whole different insect. He comes out as a winged insect called a butterfly. Butterflies are special because of their beautiful patterned wings and the colors on them. There's many, many different types. I saw a monarch butterfly in my yard for the first time this season yesterday. I was so excited. That's why I decided, you know what? It's time to do our Eric Carle project. Butterflies have the same pattern on both wings. So if there's 1, 2, 3 circles, there's 1, 2, 3 circles. If there's a great big teardrop, there's a great big teardrop. They're the same on both sides. If there's an antenna, there's an antenna. In art and in math, when something is the same on both sides, we call it symmetry. Have you ever heard that word before? Symmetry. Symmetry means that it's the same on both sides. It shows symmetry. We are going to learn 2 ways to make a butterfly that shows symmetry or is symmetrical today. Those words kind of mean the same thing. Symmetry, symmetrical. So to start, you have 2 choices. I'm going to show you the drawing project first. So if you have crayons or markers at home, this is a good way to make your butterfly. If you have paint at home, I'm going to show you another way to make a butterfly. So the first step, if you have drawing materials only, is to take a piece of paper, fold it in half. So you can see I had it like this, and I folded it like this. And you're going to push on the fold. In art, that's called making a crease. After you have made your crease on the fold, open it up, make a line for your butterfly's body, draw the top wing. They can look however you want. Draw the bottom wing. Now, I think it's really hard to draw exactly the same on the other side. So a trick that you can do is to take your paper and you're going to fold it in half. So you have the blank side right here. This side has my first 2 wings. This side is blank. I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to tape it to my window. This is the bush where I saw my butterfly yesterday. I'm going to tape it right here. Now, I can see right through my paper so that I can trace my wings. So, let's see if I can do this with one hand while I'm making a video. I can see right through and trace the lines. Whoops! Not perfect, but that's okay. Boy, one-handed art is hard. Okay, so I traced it. I gently peel it off my window, and I go back to where I do my art projects on my dining room table, and now it's ready to decorate. So if I make a heart, I know the other wing needs a heart. If I make 3 circles, I know the other wing needs how many? You got it. 3 circles. So I can decorate my butterfly however I want. I can add a head on top and a couple antennas, a little smile. And then if I want to, I can make his body a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to color the body in black so you won't even see the line in the middle, because I'll take my black crayon and color it in. Once you've done all the drawing on the wings, if you have something to color with, I have these crayons. It's really, really nice to color it with some bright colors. So if I color that teardrop orange, what color does that one have to be? That one also will be orange. And if I color this one blue, this one also has to be blue. So the colors have to show symmetry, just like the shapes. So now I'm going to show you how to make a symmetrical butterfly with paint. So if you have paint at home, you can do this another way. You take your paper, and just like before, you fold it and you push on the fold to make a crease. Now I open it up. This can be a little tricky because you have to work fast. You have to work really quickly. I'm going to grab a piece of tape. Oh, sorry, I ripped you, little butterfly, and tape it down for a second because I'm using one hand. I take my paintbrush and whoopsies, you want a nice watery paint. Poster paint works great for this. Watercolor's not so great. I paint a line for his or her body. I paint a wing. I'm working quickly so my paint stays wet. Wing. I'm going to do 3 polka dots, 2 polka dots, line, line. Now, while it's still wet, I fold it again. And I'm going to push and rub with my hands. So I'm pushing with my hands. And then I'm going to open it up. And look what happened. A symmetrical painted butterfly. It's the same on both sides. In art, when we make something like this, it's called a mono print. Mono means one and print means stamp. So you're stamping it one time. You're stamping it one time. Sometimes if you have a rubber stamp and a stamp pad, you can re-dip your stamp in the ink pad, and stamp it over and over and over. That's not a mono print because it comes out the same every single time, more than once. This is a mono print because I stamp it one time and I get this beautiful print. So when this dries, I could then take some more paint in another color, paint around it. I could take my crayons and draw around it when it's dry. I could cut it out and hang it on my window and have a nice welcome spring butterfly. That's all I have for you. You have 2 ways to make a butterfly. We have our drawing butterfly and we have our mono print paint butterfly. I hope you enjoy your Eric Carle video, and I hope you have a great time making a spring butterfly. Miss you. Enjoy the first week of May.